Hello and welcome back. It is me again, and today we are continuing the history of human rights. And I need to explain this a little bit, but we should be at Challenge 11, but it is locked. And if you are not too familiar with this game, you may wonder why this challenge alone was locked when everything else I went out of my way to unlock. That is because, for whatever reason, you first need to beat Challenge 19 to unlock Challenge 11. So, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play Challenge 19 today, and then I'm gonna skip Challenge 11, continue with 12 through 18, and then play Challenge 11. So I'm basically just swapping the order of 11 and 19, just kind of for fun. Hopefully I'll actually stick to that. I think I will. But yeah, let's play the Family Man today. We got Dad's Key, Brother Bobby, Sister Maggie, and the Rotten Baby. And that's our entire build, and we need to take it to Isaac, which is a little scary. Oh, there were plenty of hearts in that. Oh, hi. Plenty of hearts in that room, so I don't feel... Whoa. Guppy would not be great for me, except the flight. But you know, I'll take it, because keys shouldn't actually be an issue for doors, at least. It might be for chests. Also... Hey! Stop it. I might as well take advantage of these. Yay! I feel blessed, even though it means nothing. Let's talk about the history of rights and pick up where I left off yesterday. So yesterday I spent a lot of time mostly talking about Rome, but talking about the early history of rights and how they evolved from, laws, mainly. I think I can reach there. Oh, I can't. Oops. Oh well. And then I got to the Age of Discovery, really, is where I left off. And I don't have a bomb anymore. Oopsie daisy. I also walked into that. I need to look where I'm going. I will open up... Infamy! Not bad, not bad. So, I mentioned at the end of last time that in colonial Spanish America in 1550 to 1551, the laws of Burgos defined a number of rights, particularly for natives, which, again, is not, they shouldn't have needed the Spanish to define rights for them, but history is what history is, Sorry, maybe the way I worded that almost sounded like I'm blaming the native there, the indigenous peoples. I am absolutely not. I'm saying it's just, it feels weird to talk about the Spanish being the ones to give them rights, even though the Spanish, took them as slaves. At times. Not all the time, but certainly treated them as second-class citizens. And let's use that, and we got... Okay. Bombs. Good, good. I'll use a bomb to make a bomb. To get a bomb. To discover a bomb. And also on this guy, because I feel mean against him, specifically. No! Bad. Bad, okay. I got a key out of it. Net positive. Ooh, please don't blow me up. Let's see. So next up in the historical list... Yeah, sure. Is John Locke. John Locke, the very famous... Oh, let me go in there, absolutely. I mean, I could have used that from the secret room, but whatever. The very famous English philosopher. He wasn't the only one. There were other... Wow, okay. There were other European philosophers involved. But it's mainly the legacy of John Locke that he developed the modern concept of natural rights. In particular, John Locke said that people are free and equal, and he famously said that people, or I don't know if he actually explicitly said this anywhere, but it was certainly stated that he believed in the rights to life, liberty, and of course, property. Yes, property. Now that I'm pointing that out because if you live in the US, you may be a little confused by that because it sounds a lot like what's in our Declaration of Independence, which states that all people have unalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Which, as you may be able to tell, was taken directly from John Locke, but altered so that it's not property, now it's the pursuit of happiness, for whatever that should mean. Although I can't say that's ever been well protected, in my opinion. But maybe I just haven't researched that point. I don't know. Maybe it's worth looking up, and maybe I'll add a tiny note to the video if I did find something interesting. Or maybe I'm too lazy and I won't. I don't know. I am still putting in more hours to this series than I'd like to, quite frankly, because I am still more than halfway done with the daily challenges now, but not completely done. Things to consider. And I consider buying both of these, because I have the money. Broken watch is not great. I don't like this item very much, but I'll take it, I guess. The English Bill of Rights comes next, which most famously asserted that people should have a freedom against, or a freedom from, cruel and unusual punishment. And I actually need to slow down because I'm still going off of notes that I prepared for last episode, really. And I'm nearing the end of them. And I have a lot of Isaac left. So forgive me a little bit. Yuck. Yucky yuck. Okay. If I bomb you, good, good. I mean, it doesn't really help with this guy here, but... Come on. There we go. Yeah, it was not worth using Dad's key there, because I don't know... Okay. Well... I didn't know which way would prove to be correct. Ah, I think it's this way. And I have nothing else to look for, so yeah. Well, I didn't bomb the guy in the secret room. Maybe I should have. Whatever. Hey! Alright, okay, that doesn't help at all. I guess that helps. And I will bomb you, as is tradition for me, personally. I knew it. I knew it. It's always... I don't know why I have more trouble with you than the other one. I forget which of you is named which. But that double shot move always confuses me for some reason. Oh, I found pills and ate them. Yeah, let me in, please. Never mind. I'm not interested. In my quest to reduce us, that previous and the one before it, technically, were allowable because they were intentional. It's when I'm using as a filler word that isn't for comedic effect when it is unintentional. And now you know my thought process, or my understanding on it. Yeah, let's leave. Was that... It was. So much money. Even more money. I think I'm gonna go hit up a shop. Perhaps. Mayhap. And I'll also go in here, and I think that's the correct choice. Show me what you got. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. I needed that speed back. But I think it's now time to get back to rights a little bit. Okay. So, after the Age of Discovery and the colonial era and the American and French Revolution, rights took a little bit more of a center stage, only insofar as a lot of new nations, a lot of new empires, which I am saying America is an empire here, ended up defining basic rights as part of their constitutions. Oh, no. You know, I'll keep it just in case. Just in case of what, I have no idea. For instance, although it isn't technically in the Constitution as it was originally written, Constitution of the United States does have a Bill of Rights attached at the end, or an amendments section at the end. The first, 5 or 10 being specifically the Bill of Rights. That's where that word is actually used. I literally don't care. That is fine. I just need to not accidentally use the king card. Maybe I thought too harshly of the broken stopwatch. I didn't even get back to talking about rights. Let me fix that. Whoa. Incredible. By the way, if you didn't know this, damage does actually matter for this build. Because the flies that the Rotten Baby produces are, I believe, 1.5 times my tier damage. So, it does actually matter. They're very strong right now. Oh, cool. Look at that, they're one-shotting them. I don't even need Brother Bobby and Sister Maggie anymore. Well, okay, maybe I do here. So, rights. Right. Rights generally, after this point, got more fundamental, but not necessarily agreed upon internationally. At least not until a few world wars happened. The first one, World War I, who would have guessed that that was the first World War I'm mentioning, ended with the Treaty of Versailles, of course. The Treaty of Versailles included a mandate in its charter to promote some basic human rights, although this was later expanded on, so I won't get into which rights they promote just yet. Where am I going? I would like to know. Although I think... Oh, it's not. Never mind. I was wrong. I no longer think. Brain off. Ah! Yeah, there's that fly damage. Ooh, yay! Okay, brain back on now. So, World War II, of course, had the Geneva Conventions afterwards, which defined, first of all, laws of war internationally, but also the rights of individuals who are involved in conflict. Not only did World War II have the Geneva Convention, but the UN would adopt the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 1948. Again, as a response generally to the atrocities of World War II. World War II also sparked a lot of more domestic rights disputes. I'm not sure disputes is the correct word, but it sparked a lot of social change in the US, mainly because with a lot of... with a lot of the men being away from the United States, specifically in World War I, and then coming back home, a lot of women found that they enjoyed the freedom that they previously had while the men were away. Not that women in this period were, like, anti-men or anything, but that it was, with most of the men gone, it was a lot of the women who now had jobs, as opposed to the expectation that they're always housewives. And with the majority of women now having income of their own, separate from their husbands, they really liked that and started advocating for more representation and better pay and all sorts of stuff, some of which still isn't granted, such as equal pay. Oh. Yeah, I'll take that. And I'll see what's in you. Nothing. Okay, that's fine too. Well, there's the shop, so I just need to find the boss now, which means he probably shouldn't be too far, I think. Go get him. Oh, he didn't go get him. Oh, well. Whoa. Okay, not the correct way either. I guess just a quick word on what I know off the top of my head about the civil rights movement. More than I've just mentioned, anyway. And I will stop taking that card with me because I don't like it. It scares me. I sort of described, what caused it and all, but it is also worth mentioning that in the modern world, there absolutely are countries where men and women make equal pay, and the US is absolutely not one of them. I mean, it's not horrible for women, but it's consistent. It's consistently not equal across most fields, not all of them. I am told that nursing is often very harsh on male nurses as opposed to female nurses. Although I don't remember if that's even a paid dispute or more generally just work environments are not great for nurses, as they're called. Although I don't think that's a technical term. But if you're a nurse, go ahead and tell me. Well, there's another friend for me. Hey, Mom. get slowed and get eaten up by my flies. You see that damage? I mean, it's not much because he's not making that many flies, but it's a good chunk of health each time. More health, more speed. And can I leave the boss rush? I was gonna say I didn't like any of those, and I still don't, because I can't shoot tears. Another thing, this was a topic that I planned to do one day, but I guess I'll mention it here since I'm at a loss for, there's a bad, since I'm at a loss for ways to extend this topic, is the gap between men and women, particularly in computer science. More generally engineering, but especially computer science. So, when a lot of people think of a gender gap in a certain sector of the workforce, they may, at least I certainly did, think of computer science as coming to mind, because I believe I didn't do research for this, so beware. Be warned. But that in the mid-2000s, the gap between men and women in computer science in particular was something like 99 to 1, which was very extreme. But as it turns out, that has nothing to do with women's capabilities in STEM. That gap, specifically in computer science, is almost entirely artificial in nature, with its origin coming from a lot of marketing in the 80s and 90s of personal and home computers, saying that they were for boys, not for girls. But more generally, women have always been involved in STEM, even if they haven't been always appreciated. And if you didn't know this before, a calculator used to be an actual job, and it was generally done by women. So, yeah. Here's a little callback to that one episode where I discussed differences between men and women and similarities. What I believe it was said in that episode from the research that I found. Great, I don't like this room. That men were consistently better at spatial reasoning and that women were consistently better at verbal reasoning, but that there was no statistically significant difference at all between men and women's mathematical, logical reasoning capabilities. And I find that comforting, that we have that in common. Anyway, we're getting close to the end, so let me get back to a discussion about rights again. I really just have one final thing to talk about, and that is Karl Vasak, who was a Czech and French professor and legal advisor. He did a few notable things, actually, but he states that the progression and the evolution of rights through the 20th century came in 3 waves or generations. And he defines them as follows. I'm leaving. The first wave of rights were civil and political rights. For example, the right to life or voting rights, suffrage, all that sort of stuff. The second wave of rights was economic, social, and cultural in nature, such as asking for equal pay. And these are well, that one is my example, not really his. And why am I using a bomb when I could use a key? Well, okay, great. Actually, you know, I will go back to that boss challenge room real quick. Oh, cool. At least I got a bomb. Haha. No, completely useless. Sorry to say. Oh! Yeah, I think I was a little too harsh on Broken Stopwatch. This is very lucky, though, regardless. So the second generation of rights were, again, economic, social, and cultural in nature, and the third final wave of rights that is still being played out today yeah, I'll take Spirit of the Night. The third and final wave focuses on solidarity. For example, peace and a clean environment. And this is still in contention today, because as recent as, sorry, maybe not as recent, but as, yeah, I'll just not say that at all. In 2022, the UN General Assembly recognized the right of all people to a healthy environment. And that's not something that America would unfortunately ever agree to, which is why this third final wave of rights is considered to be still debated, still in contention. Not that this movement hasn't happened, but that it hasn't happened with as much equal interest from all countries. You blew up the wrong rock. You were supposed to blow up that one. I don't even need it either. Bye-bye. I hate going all the wrong ways. More soul hearts, cool. No. There you are. 2 of diamonds, sure, whatever. It's fine. Why are there these statues in every single room lately? I don't like it. They're confusing my little fly buddy. Anyway, that'll do for the history of human rights. I would encourage you to go look up the previously mentioned... Oh, God, get out of here. Oh, God, get out of here. The aforementioned Universal Declaration of Human Rights, again, that the UN drafted and adopted in 1948. See what some of those are. Not that the UN, again, has any real power, unfortunately, but that it's interesting and perhaps enlightening to see what the UN considers fundamental human rights, and also what they may not consider fundamental human rights. And for the record, there's a lot of stuff on there, so it's most things you can think of, including religion. So, my conservative friends or viewers out there, please don't be too harsh on them just because it's the UN and not America that came up with them. Ow. Again, another solid use of the broken stopwatch here. I'm impressed. But with this, wait, that was it. Nice. With that, the challenge is done. And Epic Fetus is unlocked. And there is challenge 11, finally. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something today. I hope you had fun. And I hope to see you again tomorrow, where I think I'll talk about a specific rite that's of some debate and interest to me. Take care.